All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors to Daily with Doc. Hello, everybody. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of Daily with Doc and Becca, I am excited to say hello to you. So come on in and make sure that you've got that chat open so that you can see the great information that is being shared through the chat. And if you are watching us on one of the live streams that are not here in the Zoom room and you would like to join us, you are welcome to do so. Just go to dailywithdoczoom.com. That's dailywithdoczoom.com all together. Make sure you put it in the URL, not in the search bar. Depending on what platform you use for your internet, it does make a difference. So I'm excited to be able to share information with everybody. It was something that I was missing, even though I was quote unquote eating well, according to the pyramid, and I wasn't taking in a bunch of junk. My health was in really bad shape and it was going downhill. In fact, at 40, I felt like I was, goodness, I want to say 80 plus, but the doctor that we have on with us is right in that, and he doesn't feel his age. So I don't know, maybe I felt 160, Doc, beyond what I should have at 40. And when I fell at 30 and broke my back, it shared a lot of information in that MRI that the doctor actually thought that he was coming in to see somebody 65, 70 years old in very poor health because of all the inflammation, arthritis throughout my entire body, in addition to the compression fractures that I had experienced and the bone spurs that were everywhere. And at that time, I didn't have, at least I didn't know about blood sugar issues. But with my last pregnancy, I didn't have gestational diabetes, but afterwards it just threw me into what they call now metabolic syndrome. And that's something that we're going to be talking about. Messed up blood sugar, metabolic syndrome, all the things that go with the symptoms of the pancreas just not working right, the cells not being able to utilize that insulin that is being emitted into the system. And Dr. Wallach is one of the authorities on being able to share this information with us. Now, if you are invited by somebody specific, we want to make sure that you get back with them. They cared enough and took the time to share this show with you, and we want to make sure that you get back with them. Tell them what you liked best about the show. And then if you have any questions, they probably have some great answers or no resources to get those questions answered, and also are able to help you get on a track to a better health journey. Now, I do want to do a special shout out because of, can I say the word censorship? Because of censorship, folks, we were put on a timeout on one of the platforms. So we sent out a email to our listening audience, those that are subscribed to our newsletter. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed to our newsletter. Go to dailywithdoc.com. We're also part of the Critical Health News family. So you can go to criticalhealthnews.com, sign up for that newsletter as well. But we put out a public service announcement and requested that folks follow us on Rumble. So we are absolutely loving Rumble. So I want to do a special thank you to all of you who are watching us on Rumble and who have decided to support Dr. Wallach's mission of sharing health choice freedom by empowering us to be able to accumulate knowledge. So that knowledge, folks, is something that can save our lives, save the lives of those around us. And even because, there's always a time to be born, a time to die, but why not live life enjoying to its fullest and optimal well-being, even if we've gone on a path towards decline? It's not too late. And that's what this program is all about, making sure people know that you as an empowered individual have choices, and the food, what we need, is just not there. So Dr. Wallach, he is just an amazing individual who started out with some health issues of his own at a very young age. I think he was divinely guided to find solutions for his own problems that then has brought him to the point of having under his belt being a lead pathologist on an amazing expedition to save the white rhino, going from around 200, 300 rhinos to now 16,000 or more in the United States. And it was because of his work and what he did in helping to save that white rhino that then helped him also to put him in a position where he could find the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a rhesus monkey and prove that it was not genetic. So think about it. A disease said to be human, said to be genetic, and he disproved it. And not only did he disprove it, he got fired for it because it was against the narrative. And he wrote a book. And he also got an award for his study in the importance of selenium. So without further ado, I just want to welcome Dr. Wallach to the screen with me. Dr. Wallach.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Wallach.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
Okay, I'm just going to throw this up there since we're talking about that.
Oh, I'm going to do that too. So you can talk without that being in the way of your microphone.
Okay, very good.
Share with us, Doc. I mean, you're 84 years old, going by the Chinese calendar, which we're coming up on another Chinese New Year.
Yep.
Really next week, right?
Yep.
And
I'll be 85.
And then you'll be 85. Yep. So you've gone around the world.
Literally, yeah.
Research. Literally around the world.
Yeah, with the military and with science programs.
And Dr. Wallach, what has been your favorite high point in what you have done to save humanity and the world?
Well, you know, I'm a young kid, right? And the thing that told me that the standard medical science was backwards occurred in 1922. I was not there yet.
I was going to say 1922. You weren't there.
1882. No, 1822. Okay. 1822. Excuse me. 1822. Okay, 1822. And in 1822, let's see here, we had problems because we switched over after thousands and thousands and thousands of years of using wood and coal as fuel and employing the wood ashes and coal ashes into our food as a supplement and also putting them in the gardens as a fertilizer. 1822, we noted that suddenly we had a problem. What happened in 1822? Well, we switched over to electricity and there were no more wood ashes to put in the gardens and our food. There was no more coal ashes to put in our gardens and our food. And all these mineral deficiencies started showing up that we had avoided for a couple of thousand years because we weren't using the wood ashes and coal ashes anymore. And nobody knew in 1822 why it was happening. They just knew it was happening. Okay. And so those things listed, okay, in history, and you read them and you say, man, there's a problem here. Okay. And so growing up on a farm and animals is one of those things we saw when animals had a problem. The veterinarians would give the animals alfalfa pellets with vitamins, minerals added to it, and the disease would go away. One of my favorite ones, it got me to working with Jerry Lewis, okay, and muscular dystrophy. And it showed that animals, when they didn't have the minerals, okay, that they needed, they got type 2 diabetes. They got muscular dystrophy. And so muscular dystrophy in animals originally was called white muscle disease, because instead of being red like a normal muscle, it was kind of a creamy color. So they called it white muscle disease. But it was just very simply the thing going on, excuse me, with muscular dystrophy. Well, when I saw this going through veterinary school, and I saw under the microscope the muscular dystrophy in human muscle and white muscle disease in animal muscle, it was the same disease under the microscope. You couldn't tell which was the animal and which was the human. Okay, it was essentially the same. So we started giving humans the same minerals. We started giving minerals to humans that we had been giving to animals to get rid of muscular dystrophy, and it went away. And we gave the information to Jerry Lewis, okay, and he took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired Jerry Lewis summarily, put a gag order on him so he couldn't tell the public and the media that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. And the next day, he shut down the telethon, which he had been doing for the Muscular Dystrophy Association for 46 years and had raised $2.3 billion for them over 46 years. He shut it all down. Not him.
He did, or
He
they
didn't
did?
do it.
Okay.
No, it was the government did it.
Was it the government or was it
The
the
medical,
muscular
well,
dystrophy
it was the medical system connected. They couldn't do it without connecting with the government. Okay, so it was the Muscular Dystrophy Association and the government medical divisions just shut everything down. And so when I came along, 60 years later, that was very impressive for me. And so I started working my way through veterinary school because I didn't have enough money. So I was working my way through veterinary school, working in the pathology department. And I'm comparing diseases in animals with diseases in humans because of this muscular dystrophy issue. Okay. And so this was very, very interesting to me. And so again, it's one of those things where it worked out really nice. So we know that thyroid likes iodine. Okay. You don't have enough iodine, you get a goiter, you get a big goiter down here, and the thyroid doesn't work very well without the iodine. And the ones that they weren't paying attention to was the muscular dystrophy. Okay, well, muscular dystrophy is a deficiency, again, of minerals. And then when you start looking at things like diabetes, okay, it's another deficiency of minerals, okay. And the pancreas requires a lot of minerals to be able to work and function properly. Okay. And we're talking about chromium and vanadium and magnesium and iodine and those kind of things. Also, the thyroid needed iodines. So those two organs, okay, the pancreas and the thyroid gland require an enormous amount of the nutritional minerals. Okay, just think about vanadium, chromium, magnesium for when it came down to the pancreas working properly and sugar problems and so forth. Then the thyroid gland, iodine and copper, when they didn't have enough, their metabolism didn't work right and they would gain a lot of weight. And so that was probably one of your early issues, when you gained 125 pounds or
20 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, and now you're a beautiful, slim young woman because you've been doing the right things, avoid the bad food and supplementing properly. And so you're an icon in the world. People know of your story. Okay. So I can't thank you enough for helping to save so many people and so many animals by doing your story. And so we thank you for that. But if we came out in longevity with Sweeties, okay, or Sweeties, this is our chromium vanadium product.
Okay. I got mine right here too.
And there you go. And then that's for diabetes. And the interesting thing about it is this product contains not only the plain minerals, but also chlorella, kelp, which has the minerals from the sea, spirulina, Irish moss, again, minerals from the sea, Atlantic wakame, dulse, porphyra ultimatum, I think it is, sea lettuce, okay, wakame. Remember, these are all sea vegetables, okay? And what is the sea? What makes a difference in the sea and the Great Lakes? Well, the sea has salt in it, okay? It has chromium, vanadium, okay? It
Minerals.
has minerals in it, okay? And so this is why when they began to boil seawater to get salt, people with thyroid goiter went away in a couple of weeks, which they had goiter for 20 years. And then when you have pancreas problems, you weren't absorbing your food and you had all kinds of food and dietary problems and weight gain and so on. And you're taking these, using sea salt to flavor your food and so forth. These things all went away because of the minerals that were in the sea salt, okay, was helping the pancreas and helping the thyroid. And so this is why we have also Ocean's Gold.
To support the thyroid.
To help support the thyroid. Okay, Ocean's Gold. Okay. But it also helps support every organ, every gland, every tissue in the body. Okay. Same way here. You look at the list of ingredients in these two products, it'll blow your mind. Okay. And so when people have problems that have these deficiencies, I say take your 90 essential nutrients, take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, so your tissues have everything they need to repair themselves. And then even if you don't have the thyroid problem, you still want to take the Ocean's Gold, okay? Because it has the, let's see here, Ocean's Gold has the iodine and the copper in it. And you also want to take the Sweeties. And when you look at the list of ingredients, again, on the Sweeties, it blows your mind because it has all the things that either have the right minerals in it or helps you use those minerals better. So these are two of my favorite products to add to, whether you have a disease or not. You want to add them to your 90 essential nutrients, take these things, and you won't get tired, in the afternoon, suddenly nice. I'm getting a little sleepy because your blood sugar is dropping and that kind of thing. That won't happen if you're taking these things along with the 90 and staying away from eating high sugar foods, okay? And you'll add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. You'll add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. Is that worth an extra $2 a day? I think so.
Oh, that's worth an extra $10 a day, Dr. Wallach.
Well, I'm just talking about a couple of
those two things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I want to just point out one thing. So that the ingredients that you named off there, Dr. Wallach, those are in the Ocean's Gold. So we want to make sure that we keep that straight, because in the Sweeties, yes, it has the chromium, it has the vanadium, but it also has other herbs and nutrients that are synergistically blended to help control and give balance to blood sugar. So is that help with whether your blood sugar is high or low, or is it just mainly high?
It's primarily high, but it will help it if your blood sugar is low. Okay. But because it'll help stabilize your blood sugar, it won't be going up and down, up and down, up and down like that. And this is one of those things where when people are gaining weight, okay, and they're eating 6 and 8 meals and snacks a day, that's because they're nutritionally deficient. They're deficient in these nutrients, particularly minerals, okay? And you develop a behavior called pica. And you'll start chewing on paper and eating paper, and little kids will eat bad things, even bowel movements, whatever. It's like crazy. When they are missing those nutrients, they're driven. They have this, and you see this in animals. It's called pica in animals. And in horses, they chew on the fences and the gates and everything's called cribbing. They're
Mhm.
missing those minerals, is why they're chewing on the fence.
Well, and as a farm kid, we saw that a lot.
Mhm.
And it reduced whenever we started putting out those salt blocks, especially the ones that were red because they had extra selenium in them. That then created just healthier offspring. And it's amazing, Dr. Wallach, how simple it is, and something that a medical community has made so complex, thinking that there is no hope and there's no other way other than masking symptoms. And you were mentioning about the white muscle disease. And as I go to the market and I'm looking and picking out my meat, I've always been drawn to that darker color. And it's, you look at the meat, we're talking beef here, folks, beef, lamb, and it's so pale. Is is there more nutrition, or if there is like white muscle disease in that pale looking
Yeah.
meat?
Remember, they're actually killing them when they're like 6 months old. And so this is why their muscle is pink instead of dark red purple. Okay. Muscle should be dark red purple. Okay. And so when you're seeing meat that's pink, stay away from it because it's serious nutritional deficiencies, not just one. It's got multiple nutritional deficiencies, including copper and selenium and magnesium and vanadium and chromium and all those things. And so you'll pay the price if you're eating the meat that looks pink.
All right. And Dr. Wallach, I just wanted to go through some of the symptoms that are associated with blood sugar levels. Because a lot of people will be told, well, you're not diabetic or you're not borderline diabetic, which I wasn't diabetic. I wasn't borderline diabetic, but I wasn't able to lose the weight that I had gained. And it just piled on. I mean, I gained 60 pounds with my last pregnancy.
Well,
When
just because you
I
were
had,
deficient, you were deficient in minerals. It's not just chromium and vanadium and those kinds. It's all minerals. When you're deficient in all the essential minerals, there are 60 of them. If you're deficient in any one or two, you have this pica behavior. You want to eat, 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 eat. Okay, and so it's not just the iodine. It's not just the chromium, vanadium. It's not just the copper. Okay, it's all the minerals that we require. If any of them are low or not there, you're going to develop pica and cribbing, just like the horses.
so what if you don't have that sensation of not being satisfied? It's because I didn't eat. In fact, the more I didn't eat, the more I gained. Because I'm thinking, okay, I need to stop eating. Everything I eat is just turning to fat. So I cut way back. The more I dieted, the more I gained. Because after I had my son, I gained another 60 pounds within 2 months. It was,
Were you breastfeeding him?
I was
Okay, you should have been losing weight, not gaining weight.
understood. It wasn't working the way it was supposed to, Dr. Wallach. But a lot of the symptoms that are said to be associated with blood sugar issues, whether you have the disease or not. I mean, you're thinking thirst, headaches, trouble concentration, blurred vision, weight gain, weight loss, weakness, skin infections, slow healing of cuts and sores, nerve damage, like the neuropathies, intestinal problems, constipation, diarrhea. The list just goes on and on and on. Cold feet, cold fingers, because the circulation is not getting out there. That they're saying is caused because of too much blood or too much sugar in the blood, feeling sick. Um, just there's so many things, Dr. Wallach. It seems like the symptoms associated with blood sugar issues that are listed here are symptoms that are associated with many other conditions also.
Well, it's not
Is it?
unusual to have when you are missing something, it's not unusual to be missing 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 25 different minerals. And so you can have 16 to 30 different diseases associated with mineral deficiencies.
And with there being what, over 600 poor health conditions or symptoms associated with mineral deficiencies,
That's correct.
folks, if you're not feeling great, it's probably because of a mineral deficiency, not a chemical deficiency.
Now, how can you tell if you have a mineral deficiency?
A hair analysis.
Hair analysis. Yeah, hair analysis. And this is a good investment in your health. If you do a hair analysis, like start out once every 3 months, and you get everything under control, do it once a year. And that hair analysis is going to be one of your best friends. You say, oh, I'm a little low here on my iodine. It's going to affect my thyroid gland. Okay, so you start really working on the iodized salt on your salads and things like that, and your soups and so on. And don't forget your, let's see here.
How about sea salt, Dr. Wallach? Like a Celtic sea salt that's coming from the ocean and a clean source.
Sea salt. And of course, that's the salt that we put into Ocean's Gold. Is a sea salt. And so you get the iodine and the copper, and you get the kelp. And the seaweed has all these sea salt and sea minerals in it. And so it's one of those things, sea lettuce, okay, Irish moss, spirulina, all these things, chlorella, all these things that have access to salt water, okay. And this is why people who live in the islands tend to be healthy. They aren't always, but they tend to be healthier if they're, eating fish caught there, eating plants grown in the salt water, okay, sea vegetables, kelp, that kind of thing. You're be getting that stuff that's in the ocean. And when you look at the people who live the longest, the people in Hunza, okay, their average lifespan is 122. Our average lifespan is like 75 or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit less.
Yeah, medical doctors. Well, let's see here. Ones that work in the emergency rooms, their average life expectancy is 58.
Yeah, even less. Well, Dr. Wallach, I have lots of comments, and I've got a couple hands that are up here and some questions. I know Babaji says I've been eating ashes and I'm 80 with a big old smile there. So that's fantastic, taking in those nutrients. And, one thing that I noticed, Dr. Wallach, is in those areas that have less industry, you have fewer processed foods. So you're eating more whole foods and you're doing things that are on a much healthier level. So I think that's going to be fantastic to be able to share this information and just encourage people to go more back towards roots and doing things like gardening, and where we may not have the opportunity to put wood ash in our gardens, we do have the Bloomin' Minerals that are available that are from Longevity, the company that Dr. Wallach was the founder of. So there's a lot of things that we can do on our own. He has put together the company Longevity, which he has handed over to his son and daughter. So people can't say, oh, you're just promoting the company because you make a buck. It's like, no, that's not how he makes his money. He's making his money off the sale of his books. So he was just holding up the book, The Wallach Revolution, which is the authorized autobiography or biography. It's not auto because he didn't write it, but it is the authorized biography of Dr. Wallach and his journey. He's got the Hell's Kitchen, which goes through the change from electricity or from wood ash into electricity. There are some recipes in there as well. And you can find the recordings for our programming out on almost every platform out there. So, um, one of our co-hosts, AJ, he has been very instrumental in helping us get out onto the different platforms, including on Roku TV and Fire TV and Apple TV. You can find our channels or our app on those places as well. But make sure that you go to Rumble and follow us on Rumble, because when all else fails, Rumble has been a fantastic backup for us. So, you know, they've got our front, they've got our back. Let's just go Rumble, folks. Look up for critical health news, or you can do a search for Daily with Doc, and you'll find our channels there. We're also on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, all the different places. Let us know that you are there. So put up a heart, put up a like, send us a comment, and most of all, go to our website, DailywithDoc.com, and sign up for our email list so that when we put out an email, you make sure that you are getting that right into your email box. We're doing summaries of each of the shows and including the shows in that email so that you can easily find them and then share them. And as a thank you for those who share, those with the most points, because you can earn points for sharing, then we'll be receiving a thank you gift from me. So sign up for that giveaway at dwdgiveaway.com. That's dwdgiveaway.com. Well, Dr. Wallach, let's go to some questions. How's that?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, let's go to the first question, and the first hand that is up, and area code 160. So I'm going to say your area code starts with 60. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you can. Hello, hello. So if you can hear me and you're not seeing, there you go. Hello, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Yes, my name is Joyce, and I would just like to start by saying that I want to thank him very much. I'm 77 years old, and I talked to him back in 1996, and he talked to me at length, asked me lots of questions, and he told me about the minerals in Utah. And I took his advice and I started taking those minerals, and I have been super healthy, and I've stayed away from doctors, and I've stayed away from medicines. And I also would like to mention that, well, people say I don't eat very much, but I think most people eat too much, and I stay away from the fast food places. Don't go to McDonald's. I don't eat any junk stuff like that. I do occasionally have some ice cream after dinner, maybe a fruit dessert or something. I like meat, and I like fruit, and I like some of the grains. I don't like vegetables. But my problem now is, in the last couple of years, the only medicine I'm on and have been on is the inhalers. I have a breathing problem. I get low on oxygen, and I was in the hospital several times, and they finally put me in the hospital for 3 days and did all kinds of tests. They tested everything, all the fluids from my body, and they did scans and x-rays, all kinds of tests. And I have emphysema, but the doctor, after all the tests were done, came in, and they tested my heart and all that, put me on those machines. Everything was good. And he said, I do have emphysema, but not to the extent that it should be causing these symptoms. And he said the other two causes could be allergies or emotional problems. And so right now I take an inhaler about every 12 hours. And now I'm on, like if I am walking around a lot, I sometimes need some oxygen. And so that's my story. And
Okay.
thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
that's a great story.
your
And
life.
so, yeah, thank you for sharing. That's a great story. And you're going to be rewarded for all the good things you've done, because you're going to be healthier and you'll add many healthful years to your life. Now, when you have an oxygen problem, you could have osteoporosis in the skull, squeezing the tense cranial nerve, which helps control how your lungs work. Okay. Now, let's see here. Let's see here. Do you have any ringing in your ears?
No, I mean, I have occasionally, but, probably never lasts, and probably been a
so
couple of years.
once in a while. Okay. And what about any balance problems? You have to hold on to the rail going up the steps?
No, I rode horses all my life. I've got really good balance.
Okay, good. All right. Well, those are some of the things that tell you have something going on with your skull, osteoporosis skull. Also, you can have a little sugar problem.
I had an injury with a pinched nerve in my neck years ago.
Okay, well, make sure you're taking the collagen or glucogel. Okay, it's your body weight. You go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, the glucogel, and that's going to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bone matrix, and so forth. And so that will help in those areas. And the lungs, again, when you help your spinal cord, you're helping your lungs. When you help your brain, you're helping your spinal cord and your lungs. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you have to do the whole thing, the 90 essential nutrients plus, wouldn't hurt to take our sweeties and also take the Ocean's Gold, take those things. They're going to help you with energy. They're going to help you get more oxygen from the environment.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And give us a call every couple of weeks.
Okay, so basically I need to take everything then, or is there
Take the 90 essential nutrients.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh 132 pounds.
Okay, we'll just get a 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. Take a half a dose of breakfast, half a dose of dinner time. Okay. And then go ahead and take 2 or 3 of the Ocean's Gold twice a day. Take 2 or 3 of the Sweeties twice a day. And then if you want some oxygen, what wonderful product do we have, Becca, that's an oxygen product?
So we do have the Oxybody.
It says it right in the name of the product, Oxybody. Well, there you go.
Oxybody Cherry Berry. You want to make sure that you take that on an empty stomach. So take it before eating, especially when you've got some lung issues going on. And you can take it at bedtime too. So 1 ounce is all you need, which is 2 tablespoons. And that's what the cap is. So take that on an empty stomach a couple times a day.
Very good. Yeah, do call us every couple of weeks and, let us know what you did add to your program and let us know how you're doing. People want to
hear. Okay, I do have sea salt that comes from a cove in France, and they don't wash it. It comes wet with all the minerals in it. So do I need to take the extra salt?
Yes, I'd be careful when you're getting, just salt taken from the coast of France and they're sending it to you. You don't know if there's chemicals from the industry and all that kind of stuff in there. I'd like to see an analysis of that. If they have an analysis of it, let's read the analysis and see if there's any contamination from industrial chemicals.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Joyce, for the test.
Fatty acids, are they a capsule or are they liquid?
Essential fatty acids are the essential fatty acids offered by Longevity. They are soft gels. And one thing that you want to make sure when you're looking at essential fatty acids, because when oils are taken from their natural state, that takes away the things that preserve them too. Oils, oxygen don't go well together. It creates oxidation. So you want to make sure that you are taking in products that are taken from start to finish in a nitrogen-rich environment, so it doesn't have that exposure to oxygen, so that you're not putting free radicals in your body. So yes, essential fatty acids are very important for lung and skin health. You don't want to forget those.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's hear
You're
from you in
very-
a couple of weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for calling. And Dr. Wallach, let's go to KSCO and Dave Michaels. Dave, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you
Yes,
doing?
sir.
How you doing, Mike?
I am doing just fine, Dr. Wallach. I have a question on behalf of a client of mine, and it's about her friend who is in her mid-50s, 5.5 feet tall, 98 pounds. She's recently been around somebody who was sick with COVID. She has not been diagnosed, but in any case, she's suffering from severe weight loss. Her doctor does have her on some supplements. Her appetite is not bad. She doesn't eat enough, obviously, because she's underweight, but her appetite is not bad. And she wants to know what you suggest in order to make sure that she is ready to deal with any type of illness or even to gain weight, and just your advice in general, Doc.
Okay, two things. Number one, she needs to avoid all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, and oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And at 90 pounds, I want her to have one Healthy Brain and Heart pack per month. Okay, there's 215 different nutrients in the Healthy Brain and Heart pack. Take a half a dose of everything at breakfast and half a dose of everything at dinner time. Okay, and then if she wants to, she can take some like a rebound or a sports drink. Okay, and go ahead and I like the rebound because it gives you energy and gives you more minerals. And so she could have rebound 2 or 3 times a day, say an hour or so after dinner. I wouldn't take it before bedtime because you might stay up all night. Okay.
And that's basically, what about if she wants to gain weight? Is there any way, a healthy way to gain weight?
Well, she needs to do light exercise, walking, doing sit-ups and push-ups and that kind of stuff, go out on a swing and do some light exercise. But she does need to feed her muscles and skin and so forth. And so this is something, if she's not allergic to milk, she can have cheese. She can drink milk, she can have cheese, that kind of stuff. She needs a little bit of fat to gain some weight and have energy. And so cheese and milk are good sources. The good Lord made milk and we make cheese out of the milk. And the good Lord made all mammals, okay, producing milk to feed the babies as their first food for the first couple of weeks or couple of months, depending on the species. And so this is a message.
I have one more question, Dr. Wallach. This is from another customer of mine. He wants to know if caffeine, coffee, will affect the absorption of minerals that he's taking.
Caffeine does affect the utilization of minerals, okay, because it impacts, it kind of crushes the hunger sensations because it pulls fat and sugar out of your body to raise it very quickly in your bloodstream. And so it's one of those things where it's not unusual to have fluctuations in your weight. You can lose a lot of weight if you drink a lot of caffeine. You can gain a lot of weight if you drink a lot of caffeine. You're having your biscuits with it and that kind of stuff. So I do drink decaffeinated tea. Okay, no caffeine in the tea. Okay, but I do drink decaffeinated tea. It's a longevity product.
We have lots of options when it comes to beverages and to help control not just thirst, but also add nutrition into your body with every sip. So hopefully that helps with the answer to your question there, Dave. And I know Dr. Wallach, it is time for us to end our time with you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. We greatly appreciate you and your time.
Thank you. God bless each and every one of you.
God bless you as well, Doc. And if I could get my co-hosts on the screen with me, I'd greatly appreciate that. Folks, I could not do this by myself. I tried, and it was a little on the stressful side. So to be able to have this army and on this crusade with me who just absolutely have been touched by Dr. Wallach's message and have this inside drive to help others and make sure they get the message as well has really been a benefit to all of us, folks. I consider myself very blessed to be able to have the people on the screen with me, including some that are not just some, a lot that are not on the screen, as we together are helping get the message out so that more and more people within our families, our communities, and together within our world can find better health. We have Sherry, who is helping to bring people into the room. Also, she's working on the technical side with AJ, making sure that the streams are going and set up. Everything has to be set up just right before every show and then taken down just right after every show. So thank you, Sherry, for being willing to learn that. And since I mentioned AJ, we'll go with AJ next. So AJ has been very instrumental, as I mentioned earlier, in getting our show out on the different platforms and on TV. So I know you smart TVs, you can watch us on TV, but folks, there's some people that really just like to focus on Apple TV. We're there. Roku, we're there. Fire TV, we're there. And I love it. I can go on and see our faces and the message and just share. So thank you, AJ, for all your work on doing that. We do some really late hours, making sure everything is set up just right. And we have Phyllis, who is joining us. She is one of the longest standing members with Longevity, who has been very instrumental, her and her husband, Andy, in getting Dr. Wallach on the radio, whether it's on KSCO, KOMY, and then so many others that I don't even have a list of them. We need to get them. We need to get that list on where we are still being broadcast. And then we're growing, folks. So if you are associated with a podcast, a radio program, a broadcast of any sort, make sure that you get back with us. Call our call team if you're not working with somebody already, 855-949-3377. And if you're interested in doing or adding our program to broadcasts, Phyllis is your girl. Her and Andy are absolutely fabulous in getting people connected. So she is one of the options on our call team. And then we also have Marilyn. So Marilyn is our fingers and working long hours as well and getting all the information put into the chat here in our live Zoom. So I just want to do a special shout out to Marilyn, as she's paying like hyper attention to what's being said. Her and Phyllis both. So they do some tag teaming on that chat. And if you're not here with us in the live Zoom, you're missing out on the information shared. And then we also have Albert way down in South Africa, who is helping us with our extended internet or international branch in reaching people around the world. So thank you, Albert, for being here with us, as I know that it is middle of the night for you right now, as you're 10 hours ahead of us. Folks, if you have ever thought of wanting to share the word of nutrition, if you've heard Dr. Wallach's message, but you've never taken any steps in implementing it into your own life, I have so many customers that are coming to me now saying, you know what? I have been following Dr. Wallach's recommendations. I've been recommending the program to lots of people. And my first question is, well, have you ever tried the products? No, I never have. I think it's time. If you can, like, since, okay, it's time. Folks, it's never too late. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, make sure that you give us a call here on the Daily with Doc team at 855-949-3377. And we also have an option, a way to get a hold of us through our website. Use that contact option on our website, dailywithdoc.com, and you can reach me that way. Also, whenever you sign up for our email list, there is a box there that you can enter in your questions or comments and communicate with us that way as well. We are in a world where there are a lot of hurting people. You hearing this message was not by accident. Reach out and let's together make this world a healthier place. As healthier people are happier people, and we are empowered to do that. My name is Becca Dukes. Thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Until next time. Oh, tomorrow, Pharmacist Ben. So we have our Pharmacist Fridays. I'm super excited for the information that we're going to be sharing on that as well. Bye for now.